PMS have jumped from 189 or 190 to over 1,000 naira, and they also have to service all their their facilities. Their staff also deserve a pay rise and whatever. But if you look at it very, very well, I think is 50% justified? That's a question now. Well, if you ask me if you ask me for them, yes, but for consumer, no.
They were initially asking for 100%,
yes,
according to the MTN.
As I said, for them, yes. For consumer, no, because you know, it's taking away our purchasing
power.
Even
the 100% to you is justified for them.
Well, for me, I think the thing is that it's like a bargaining. They actually push that up so that they can get it where they actually got now. But I think for them to increase the tariff, it is quite justified, because if you look at the economic situation, they also play in the same Nigeria economy. What
about the affording power of Nigerians? Because that seems to not be in the equation. Like, we have so many companies outside the country. Let me use an example of, say, Netflix, which is a service provider. Now, the rates for subscription monthly across the countries differ because of the value of the currency of that particular country. So looking at that, would you say it's still justified?
Well, if you say affordability, how do you justify affordability? So let me now ask you, what if they do not invest in their infrastructure? What will happen? This is where you have to look at it very well. So they also are doing this so enable them to actually work more on their infrastructure, because the more they fail to invest more in the sector, the more we have poor service. So should we pay for better service and get better service? So I think what should we be looking at is that, do they actually give us a good service that justify what they actually are collecting? And that's the condition we expect federal government to give to them. We have a lot of drop calls, a lot of difficulties in making some calls. How are we going to better? But I can tell you, if we don't have more investment in telecoms, we may begin to have a lot of problem in that area.
But do you think the NCC has the back of Nigerians? Because they left the sole responsibility of educating consumers or subscribers to the telcos. Shouldn't they be part of that responsibility?
When you say they left that, I used to be at NCC Consumer Forum, where we used to clamor for a lot of things. I think they should both be involved. Why this NCC is doing it, all those operators, telecoms operators should also involved in it. I'm not sure if you know that there's another internet that is all over in Nigeria now, where you have uninterrupted. They've just increased their own tariff by even more than 50%. So, and it's internet service provider. So, if you look at it very well, it is not much more of the problem of the telecoms. It's the problem of Nigerian government policy direction, because they are actually spending more for their infrastructure. Remember, there's problem of double taxation that we hope this new tax reform is going to solve. There's a problem of increments in salary pay and operating costs. So these are what they actually put together and say they have to increase their tariff. So what I think Nigerians should hold them and hold SC responsible for is that, are we going to get the commensurate service compared to whatever and other sundry issues that we have, you know, that other people can. And that's why we also need to advocate. The CSO and others need to also do more in terms of advocating for a better. But I can tell you, if there's any sector that actually helped the Nigeria economy, I can tell you it's telcos. Because I recall, before now, all of us will go to bank to queue, you know, you have to go to the forward, but now you can do everything, and you can also transact business at the door, at your door mount, without stepping anywhere. So I think it's a good one that they actually are increasing their tariff, but we must also tell them that they should compensate. Because for me, as an economist, you have to justify how you can also sustain your business. For them to sustain that area too, without trying to canvas for them, they also need to get more money.
Okay, now let's move down to reality in terms of how this impact trickles down to the last, you know, average man on the street. You look at POS operators, charges are going to go up. You talk about bank charges also. how it's also going to affect service delivery, and in all these multiple sectors that rely not just on voice communications but also data communications. How do you think this government is ready for the outcry that is going to come as a
All
result of
right.
this?
So I'll be happy to discuss about how government can make life better for Nigeria. Now, you recall that as it is moving to 50%, it also reflects in other people's business. So if I'm doing more to buy more data, I will as well do more to increase my service pay. So the major thing is that's why we talk about enabling environment for businesses. I don't know what stopped government from providing an alternative for Nigerians. I recall there was a minister in FCT who decided that there's a particular area that he put free Wi-Fi that you can go there and connect. So a good sensitive government, we look at what my people use, especially micro and small business. That I